gotta go get his album, It's Last Train to Paris.
In a world consumed by misinformation, a shocking story broke that blurred the lines between fact and fiction. It wasn't just a news report. It was a saga of betrayal and a desperate struggle for Justin and Hailey Bieber, caught in an uncontrollable storm. By May 2024, the air in the courtroom was especially charged. The Chamber of Justice became a grim theater for Sean "Diddy" Combs' fate. Facing federal charges including racketeering and sex trafficking, he was accused of orchestrating a dark empire. Each day, shocking testimonies detailed alleged abuse and exploitation. Diddy, his once impenetrable public persona now fractured, maintained a defiant silence, his denials echoing hollowly against the mounting tide of evidence. He remained in custody as the trial relentlessly pressed on. But the current tragedy was merely the tip of an iceberg. The horrifying truth had been concealed under years of meticulously constructed illusions, and the first tremors of this scandal had begun long before, when whispers of a past connection emerged, a ghost haunting the life of Justin Bieber. For Justin, the last days of April 2024 were a true nightmare. He was trying to balance caring for his newborn son, Jack Blues, with his wife, Hailey, and the relentless pressure from the media. On May 16, 2024, as news about Diddy exploded, old videos from 2009 suddenly resurfaced, haunting Justin's life. Images of a 15-year-old Justin Bieber with innocent eyes contrasted chillingly with Diddy, who was then in his late 30s. In a popular YouTube clip posted in 2009 titled, "Justin Bieber's 48 HRS with Diddy," Diddy, with a disturbing nonchalance that Justin now recognized as a predator's sign, boasted about having custody of young Justin for 48 hours. He spoke of going crazy together and called it a 15-year-old's dream. In the video, Diddy even hinted at having some girls and promised Justin a Lamborghini when he turned 16 and a mansion when he turned 18. At the time, the public dismissed these comments as playful banter, the eccentricities of a music mogul mentoring a rising star. Neither Justin nor his then-manager, Scooter Braun, had any idea of the horrifying secrets hidden beneath the surface. They only saw an opportunity, but hindsight, a cruel and unforgiving lens of time, stripped away the veneer of innocence, revealing an insidious undercurrent that had flowed beneath the surface all along. In the days following the reappearance of these videos, Justin went through a private hell, according to a source close to In Touch Weekly in mid-May 2024. He confided in close friends about the turmoil he faced as serious allegations against Diddy were made public. "I can't believe this is happening again," Justin whispered to Hailey, his eyes red from sleepless nights. "Those memories, they just keep coming back. I thought I had buried them." Hailey hugged her husband, gently stroking his hair. "I know, my love. I'm here. We'll get through this together." She knew he was in a difficult mental state, as US Weekly reported. The online community, like a hungry beast, devoured these theories, churning them into a whirlwind of speculation that threatened to engulf Justin and Hailey's marriage. Was the innocent bravado of a young star a mask for unspeakable trauma? Was his seemingly carefree youth a product of manipulation, a meticulously crafted facade? On May 16, 2024, amidst the news storm, a joint statement from Justin and Hailey's representatives was sent to TMZ and People. It was brief but firm. While Justin is not among Sean Combs' victims, there are individuals who have genuinely been harmed by him. Diverting attention from this reality would diminish the justice these victims deserve. For Hailey, this was the first step in protecting her husband from a past that wasn't his, a past exploited and distorted by another. As Justin struggled to cope with the rumors and memories, Hailey, with the instinct of a wife, became his steadfast shield. She knew the media was hunting them, waiting for a breakdown, a crack in their composure. On October 7, 2024, days after Diddy's arrest on September 16, 2024, Hailey made a symbolic gesture on Instagram. She posted an old photo of Justin from 2017 in which he was flipping off the paparazzi on a private island in Queensland, Australia. The caption was concise, almost defiant. Mood. This action, though not directly mentioning Diddy or the scandal, was immediately deciphered by the public and media. This wasn't a new accusation, but a powerful statement of exhaustion from the relentless public pressure. It was Hailey's way of showing absolute support for Justin, a message that they wouldn't let rumors and speculation affect their lives. It was a digital middle finger to a world that refused to leave them in peace. Every time I see those comments, I feel like I'm back in that moment, Justin confessed to Hailey one evening as he scrolled through his phone. They don't understand. Not everyone was a victim, but they want that story. Hailey put her hand on his shoulder. I know, I understand. That's why I posted that picture. I want them to know we won't let them stir things up anymore. We have Jack. We have our life. Hailey knew that Justin had struggled with mental health issues in the past, including depression and suicidal ideation, as he shared in his 2020 documentary Justin Bieber Next Chapter. She witnessed his relentless efforts to overcome those demons. A source close to Justin said, "The last thing Justin wants to do is relive or even discuss his complicated friendship with Diddy." The pressure from Diddy's scandal had resurfaced old wounds, and Hailey was doing everything she could to protect him from this storm so he could focus on his family and their newborn son, Jack Blues, born in August 2024. As Justin and Hailey sought peace in their home, Diddy's horrifying secrets unfolded in court, each testimony a fresh cut on Justin's old wounds. On May 14, 2025, the trial began with chilling testimonies detailing Diddy's dark empire. Diddy's lawyers, including Sean Hawley, quickly tried to dismiss the claims as fabricated stories, but their weak defenses couldn't stop the tide of truth. Hailey, watching the live stream, felt a cold dread as the first testimonies emerged. She squeezed Justin's hand beside her, his face pale, eyes fixed on the screen. She knew this wasn't just a regular criminal case. It was stirring deep traumas Justin had carried since he was very young. Rodney Jones, Diddy's former bodyguard, described Diddy as a violent sexual predator, engaged in public sex parties fueled by drugs and guns, where he routinely drugged, sexually assaulted, and physically abused people. He had a way of making you feel special, Jones testified, his voice trembling, but then he'd twist you, turn you into a puppet. Every word from Jones felt like a needle piercing Justin's mind. Hailey felt his hand twitch as he fought to control his emotions. She remembered Justin speaking of negative influences during his youth, experiences he kept vague, but now the pieces were chillingly falling into place. Another witness, Lila Monroe, a once vibrant singer, appeared gaunt and broken. Her former manager testified on May 22, 2025 at 9:30 a.m. PST, detailing her heartbreaking decline after working with Diddy. She was so full of life when she started, he recounted. But after she started working with Diddy, she changed. Her light just dimmed. Financial records showed large, unexplained transfers from her accounts to Diddy-linked shell companies, pointing to financial and sexual exploitation. Hailey watched Justin, tears in his eyes as Lila spoke of losing herself. She knew Justin had been in similar positions, not to this horrifying extent, but facing similar pressures and manipulations from powerful industry figures. His own innocent dreams had once been exploited. The courtroom also heard from Marcus Thorne, a former action star, A Diddy associate testified about how Diddy exploited Thorne's addiction, using it as leverage for control. Thorne was a good man, but he had a weakness, the associate said, and Diddy knew how to exploit it. He turned him into a debtor, then into a slave. Justin gripped Hailey's hand, his fingers trembling. He had seen those battles, fellow artists wrestling with drugs and pressure, exploited by men like Diddy. It was a deep scar on his soul, a part of his past he always tried to forget, but now it was brutally resurrected through these testimonies. On May 24, 2025, at 1:00 p.m. PST, the court was shown grainy, illicit photos of Marcus Thorne in compromising situations, allegedly orchestrated by Diddy. The courtroom shuddered. The defense's objections were overruled, the judge emphasizing the paramount importance of justice. These testimonies painted a comprehensive picture of Diddy's cruelty, an empire built on depravity and systemic exploitation. For Justin and Hailey, this was more than just a trial about Diddy. It was a painful confrontation with the ghosts of their own past, a past they hoped to overcome to protect their future. On June 3, 2025, at 9:45 a.m. PST, amidst a former Diddy bodyguard's devastating testimony that was shaking the courtroom, Diddy suddenly clutched his chest, his eyes wide in apparent distress. His defense immediately moved for a mistrial. The judge granted a recess. Hailey Bieber, witnessing this drama unfold on TV with Justin, knew it was a blatant attempt at manipulation. She squeezed Justin's hand. He felt a chill, recalling Diddy's past displays of control. For Hailey, this wasn't just about evading justice. It was a flagrant abuse of public attention, overshadowing the true victim's pain. "He's faking it," Hailey muttered, her eyes glued to the screen. "He has to be." Justin nodded in agreement. He was always a good actor. The next day, at the prosecution's unexpected request, Hailey Bieber was called to testify. She entered the courtroom with a calm, resolute gaze. "Your Honor," Hailey began, her voice clear and steady, "I'm not here to talk about what Justin experienced directly with Sean Combs, because, as we've stated, he is not one of those victims. But I am here to speak about manipulation, about how people like Sean Combs use their power to twist truth, to make others believe what they want them to believe, whether it's a glamorous image or a staged charade." Hailey paused, looking directly at Diddy, who sat stony-faced at the defendant's table. "Yesterday's act," she continued, her voice gaining conviction, "was just another example of how he tries to manipulate everything. He faked a heart attack to divert attention, to gain sympathy, while his real victims are still struggling for justice. That is unacceptable." Hailey's testimony sent a ripple through the courtroom. It didn't introduce new evidence of Diddy's crimes, but it powerfully highlighted his manipulative nature and his callous disregard for others' suffering. Indeed, less than 24 hours later, on June 4, 2025, at 7:00 a.m. PST, medical reports quickly debunked Diddy's dramatic collapse, confirming he was physically fit to continue with court proceedings. The media immediately condemned Diddy's blatant disrespect for legal procedures. The trial resumed on June 5, 2025, at 9:00 a.m. PST, the air heavy with unspoken understanding. Diddy's theatrical stunt had not only failed, but also solidified public perception of his guilt. Justin and Hailey followed the trial every second. Each testimony, every piece of evidence presented, was a blow to a part of the past Justin had tried to bury. Hailey was by his side, constantly comforting and encouraging him. The defense's final arguments sounded hollow and unconvincing. They tried to paint Diddy as an ambitious businessman unfairly targeted, a victim of jealous rivals and opportunistic accusers. "Ladies and gentlemen of the jury," Diddy's lawyer, Sean Hawley, said dramatically, "this is a witch hunt. My client is a victim of envy and greed." However, the prosecution delivered a powerful, emotionally charged summation. They spoke of shattered lives, broken dreams, years of silence and suffering. They invoked the names of Lila Monroe and Marcus Thorne, their once vibrant images now haunting reminders of Diddy's alleged depravity. This, the prosecutor declared, her voice ringing with conviction, is not about celebrity or wealth. This is about justice. This is about holding a man accountable for crimes that tore apart the lives of countless individuals. Diddy, his face pale, his eyes darting nervously around the room, stood beside his legal team. The foreman, a stern-faced woman, rose to deliver the verdict. On the charge of racketeering, she intoned, her voice clear and unwavering, we find the defendant, Sean Combs, guilty. This time, the reaction was more pronounced. A few quiet sobs could be heard, a collective wave of relief washing over the gallery. Hailey squeezed Justin's hand, giving him strength. The sentencing, delivered on June 10, 2025 at 11:00 a.m. PST, was swift and unequivocal. The judge, her voice devoid of emotion, outlined the gravity of Diddy's crimes. She spoke of the systemic nature of his alleged exploitation, the egregious abuse of power, and the profound damage inflicted upon his victims. She cited the impact on the entertainment industry, the erosion of trust, and the chilling message it sent to aspiring artists. Sean Combs, the judge declared, her voice resonating with the weight of her authority. For the crimes of racketeering and sex trafficking, you are hereby sentenced to life imprisonment with the possibility of parole after 30 years. Diddy stood frozen, his face turned to stone. The murmurs in the courtroom grew louder, but no one was surprised. The sentence had been set. After the trial concluded, Justin and Hailey left their home, feeling a mixture of relief and exhaustion. It's over, Hailey said, resting her head on Justin's shoulder. Finally over. Justin sighed. I hope so, but the memories, they'll stay. We'll face them together, Hailey whispered, tightening her grip on his hand. Always.